10 seconds remaining. HellRaisers turn to ban. LG's turn to pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to OG versus HellRaisers as we get into the thick of things here in Group B action for the International 2017. I'm LD. I'll be joined here by Luminous. OG currently sitting 4-2 in a pretty good position.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds
1-1,
remaining.
so I guess maybe Liquipedia was wrong, but in any case, looks like they are going to be... What are you doing, Lumi?
You are way too loud for me.
I'm way too loud for you?
Yes.
Well, you can turn this down. That is what they hear. Don't touch that.
Yeah, okay. I put it back. I put it back.
Yeah, this is you.
Yeah, okay.
It's your in-ears.
Let me go more. Why are you so loud?
Oh, maybe it's this one.
We're just turning all the knobs
Does
over.
that help?
That helps a lot.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Just getting the audio sorted out. But yeah, Lumi, it's OG versus HellRaisers. I guess Liquipedia was wrong, so HellRaisers is 1-3. OG is 4-2 in Group B. So OG looking solid, but certainly not insurmountable as of yet. With potentially a lot at stake here. You take a couple games off OG, and your HellRaisers, all of a sudden you are in the thick of things for top 4. You get 2-0'd in this series. Now you got a tall mountain to climb to even, get to the main event at all, let alone in the winner's bracket. So a lot at stake.
Yeah, for OG fans, this is reasonably the team that you should 2-0. You should move on, get the quick win. But I think for HellRaisers, they're going to be coming in prepared. I think it's much easier to prepare for a team like OG. You see them play against a whole bunch of different style, a lot of tough opponents, and a lot of losses as well. And you could kind of learn, perhaps. But I guess unless HellRaisers surprise us, I kind of expect OG to chill them with their standard playstyle.
Yeah, I think that's fair. OG certainly come in as favorites to this one. So looking at the draft, we'll try and break it down a little bit for you guys now. First overall pick went to OG. They removed the Batrider and the Lycan. Lycan has certainly seen a resurgence the last few months, and obviously Liquid, one of the teams that loves to run him as well, had some success earlier in the tournament with the Zoo strat we saw yesterday. They're going to instead open things up with the Nyx Assassin first overall. HellRaisers removing those big map controllers, kind of tempo setters with the Earth Spirit, the Night Stalker, the roaming 4 positions. They go Clock, Ancient Apparition. And now we see the Phoenix. Of course, this is a fly signature. And I mean, I would say best Phoenix in the world, personally. He plays it a lot more than most other supports, and he's very confident on the hero.
I think in the Western scene, I definitely agree with you there. Some of the Chinese Phoenix are quite good as well, although the hero has been definitely out of their meta for a while as well. We're going to see Ancient Apparition once again, and the question is always, Clockwork support, or is it a offlane? We saw 33 today do some amazing thing against Execration early on today. Was not able to win the game off the big Clockwork performance, but damn, it looked really, really insane. He was able to get solo kills in 1v2 situations, got his level 6 very quickly, and then dominated the game.
Yeah, 33 might have had the best Clockwork performance I've seen in months, honestly. I've seen a lot of solid Clockworks, but he almost carried the team, and that's really not something you say often about that hero. He's much more of a part of the supporting cast for most players. So HellRaisers showing Miracle the respect. They are gonna... sorry, why am I saying Miracle? Showing Ana the respect. Baiting out the Invoker. I saw Miracle's Invoker the other day. It was absolutely godly. So
I would not...
I see Invoker. Yeah. I think Miracle. It is OG. But yeah, welcome to 2017, guys, where, of course, it's more the Ana Invoker. But yeah, they're also going to remove the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage has been kind of making his way back into the meta a little bit. I know there's this hard carry mid thing that, EG completely airballed yesterday, but also rumor is Liquid has been doing that a lot as well. We saw the Sumail Void mid. Apparently they've been running some hard carries mid too. So.
I wonder if they're thinking about picking up certain carries that are going to be good, rather weak against anti-mage. So think of things like Necrophos or stuff like that. Although with that said, I'm not sure if you want to pick Nick or Falls into a Nyx Assassin, as Nyx is generally seen as one of the hard counters. We're gonna see the Shaker picked up here, so still you got the question in the air. Who is the off lane? Who is the support? I'm leaning more with the Shaker off lane. This is actually one of 33's most play hero, one of his best heroes. So I'm gonna lean towards ES off lane, Clockwork support, and that certainly will help OG plan out the rest of the picks.
Yeah, another hero that doesn't love playing against Nyx though. I think Nyx also can make Earthshaker's life very difficult with the Carapace, easily interrupting his big combo if he gets off the Carapace. So, of the late game Shakers we have seen will build BKB, at which point the Nyx doesn't really pose as much of a threat, but you know that is of course far down the road. OG, they'll grab their carry now. It is the Phantom Lancer. So PL mid used to be probably the most popular way to play, and we saw the PL Coddle era. Where do you expect OG is going to run the PL, and who's going to be playing it?
Most likely going to be Notel's hero, and he shows really a wide range of what this hero is capable of. I think we expect PL to be more of a traditional one-position carry, but the way that I've seen Notel play, he is a lot more sacrificial. Like he could actually pick up things like drums, even things like SMY, just play him more like a 2 almost, and then allow Ana to be kind of the heavy farmer and carry from the mid lane.
Do you worry at all about picking PL into ES? Is that
that's kind of like the classic counter.
That's the old school.
Yeah, you got a bunch of illusions. Here comes Shaker with this big Echo Slam. Honestly,
hey buddy.
I don't think I'm too worried because most good PL players are good at taking care of his illusions and whatnot, and Notel is definitely one of them. But it's definitely a point that HellRaiser can exploit. I would be more scared of a long-range Fissure into an Ice Blast. That's definitely something that HellRaiser will look to set up on PL as well as on the remainder of the heroes.
There was a period where the favored PL build, I think especially in China, I want to say it was Aggressive who really pioneered this build, was the combat PL build where you get like a BKB and Abyssal Blade rather than just trying to get pure stats items.
Yeah.
And I think that is potentially a great option against an AAES if you're concerned about that sort of thing.
Yeah, it just comes down to the playstyle that you want, right? That build takes a little bit more farming time, which I think Notel generally, instead of farming, he likes to fight for the team.
Wombo combo, here we go. Enigma picked up. There is a hook shot to try and interrupt this, but there's not a whole lot of BKB piercing disable to work with here.
At the same time, it's going to take a while for Enigma to get to the BKB. I'm assuming this is a position 3 Enigma, in which case it'll like to go for things like Midas, Arcane, Blink, and then you're thinking about BKB. But at that point, you know, there's 3 or 4 team fights that have gone by where Shaker is a good disable, Clockwork is a good disable, and of course whatever else that is left for the mid to be picked up.
5th and final ban now for OG. HellRaisers removed the TA. I asked you last series what happened to TA, and she's largely been, I don't think she's been picked or banned in any of the games that we've cast. She definitely hasn't been picked or banned in the other games I watched, so she's been relatively ignored, all things considered. Even though, go back 2 months ago, TA was probably the mid.
Yeah.
Anything in particular? You mentioned, I think, that
DOT.
picks like Venomancer
Yep.
have come back, and that's discouraging some of the TA picks. Obviously, AA, I guess, gives you some damage over time as well, but are you surprised to see the lack of TA?
It could be one of those things that the teams that we've been casting have been preferring the other type of mids. The mids overall we've seen the resurgence of things like Lina, Queen of Pain coming back, Puck coming in really big for a lot of the top teams, kind of crowding out the slot for TA, but I think TA is still definitely one of the strong picks. She can snowball so fast. You stack Ancient a couple times and she can be the most farm hero 15 minutes in a game, and that's definitely a very dangerous weapon. HellRaiser feels so, and they do take it out. We're gonna see an Ursa. All right, this is as combat heavy as it gets. So now with the Ursa as a core position, we might see the PL now going back more for the traditional role where he, you know, farms a little bit more. Might be even going for more of the BOT build that you suggested, because Ursa is going to be the one that's going to be leading the fights.
Ursa, obviously, fantastic against a lot of these heroes. Doesn't care if he gets cogged. In fact, that's great. That's just a free kill on the Clockwork. At the same time, the cogs can disrupt him in the fights. Lifestealer, obviously he wins that man fight. He gives them some great Roche taking potential, which really they only had Enigma. He's decent, but not the old Enigma who could just go and solo Roche super early on his own, and also difficult to get away with that nowadays. So I think this gives them some good objective taking potential and kind of balances the lineup. And HellRaisers, it is the Clock Shadow Fiend. You know, we mentioned this was where Clock really started to come back, was specifically that combo for the early souls. Now people just like Clockwork for the hero itself, but this is some extra added synergy. Let's see how many souls he's going to get.
Yeah, of course, you're going to have the advantage matchup in the mid lane. Like, regardless whether he's getting souls or not, I think Ana is going to be disadvantaged to begin with. A very common thing that teams have been doing whenever they go up against the Clockwork Shadow Fiend is that you get a level 1 smoke and you get a gank off against Shadow Fiend, whether it's at the rune spot or whether it's, you know, after he picks up the rune and then you just wrap around the mid lane. As you know, if you get the Shadow Fiend killed, then he loses half of his soul, and all of that hard work you've done to actually acquire that soul for the Shadow Fiend is now kind of gone out the window. Unfortunately for OG, I just don't think their heroes are too amazing for that level 1 gank, right? We're looking at a Icarus dive and an Impale. That might be enough depending, you know,
I think Ursa's like hitting someone the whole time.
Depending if Ursa has the boots as well, that might be... Maybe he picks up an Orb of Venom for that gank. We'll see how things go, but some teams are expecting that level 1 smoke gank for their Shadow Fiend as well. And they protect their Shadow Fiend. There's definitely a big mind game thing. Whether you even go for the shadow, smoke gank in the first place. So we'll see how things go.
Yeah, generally I would say, in agreement with you, that most teams have gotten very disciplined about protecting the SF to ensure that he doesn't lose those early souls, even sometimes sacrificing other lanes or, you know, their early creep blocks just to ensure that they get it off. But we will see Kaiser off to a nice start here as far as the souls go. Elsewhere, other heroes deploying. Jerax does get a good hill ward down in the mid lane. He starts with the boots. And no boots on J4, so he's going to take quite a bit of early harass as he retreats towards the safety of the mid lane. So as far as overall laning setup, it looks like just pretty standard for HR, the Shadow Fiend mid, the safe lane Lifestealer. And as far as the Lifestealer goes, Lumi, not really the best vehicles, like just the Clockwork and that's it. Maybe Shadow Fiend if he gets a Shadow Blade or Blink, but that also puts your SF in, you know, harm's way for things like an Ursa to go and maul him, potentially a Black Hole to come through. And OG are making that smoke play that you mentioned, but J4 is there. Well, he can break the smoke. He also is likely to give up the first blood. Gets clipped by the Impale after the land setup from Notal. Now the Hogs come in, but they also kind of push J4 away from the safer path down the cliff. I think he was dead anyway, unless they pushed all 4 of OG and blocked them off completely, but it is a first blood to OG, at least not on the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, and the fact that they got their first blood so close to the rune spawn will guarantee the rune on 3 of them at least. OG Ana will pick it up and just walks towards mid. His Jerax is going to help him block the mid lane a little bit, so they're getting everything. It
actually is quite big that the Ursa is the one that gets the first blood there as well. It's going to mean early extra regen for him. You'll probably get your boots a bit sooner. And potentially even before Kaiser.
Right now.
And yeah, let's see. Okay, he did go boots first. So yeah, with the boots, like you look at the base move speed of Ursa, it's already better than Shadow Fiend's, and now you've got the boots as well. So you could definitely run him down if he gets remotely sloppy. Perhaps we'll see the Nyx come in for an early gank. I definitely think the Clock needs to just stay camped around mid lane for now.
He disagrees. He's gonna just walk away from his Shadow Fiend and go up top. Maybe Kaiser just feels confident despite the fact that he knows that Ursa is going to have a movement speed advantage. He's going to basically play stay away and raise and just stack for himself and stuff like that.
If you like see the Clockwork top and you have a smoke on Jerax, you're definitely making that move mid. For now, there is a Radiant Ward scouting him. He'll probably figure it out soon. His sentry just out of range, so this will not be the easiest approach. But once he identifies that there's a ward, perhaps he approaches from the south.
Yep.
Perhaps he goes with a smoke next time. So for the Clock, even if he's not mid, it's also like just don't show yourself in other lanes. That way they at least worry about it.
Ana getting pushed back by 2 cogs. A lot of mana gone, but it's okay. It's really tough when the creep wave is where it is right now. It kind of pushed in. Kaiser doesn't have the protection of the tower where he has to be very careful. You can see Ana. He doesn't mind taking a hit or two as long as he could pressure Shadow Fiend away from the creep wave, but ever, you know, you give this lane 1 more minute, and I think Kaiser gets to level 4, he gets that second point of Necro Mastery, I think that's where he will really take over the lane. So far, he's been playing beautifully.
Yeah, Ursa's definitely not going to win this matchup on his own once the Shadow Fiend
kills.
has his farm, but
Yeah.
if he gets the gank, like PL could come into the lane, maybe we see a smoke with the Enigma at some point. The Nyx alone might be able to do it, and just like I mentioned, Jerax is going to try that southern approach, and I think he might have more success here, though with Milan in the lane, he'll have to wait until he sees him rotate around.
Yep.
Sentry gets dropped. We'll see the Dire Sentry, but no ward yet. This is an opening. Like, if that clock heads top, like he's sort of looking like he might do now, they could potentially cinch the noose mid.
Well, Kaiser just picked up Boots of Speed, so that makes the kill a little bit harder. A couple illusions hanging out with him as well. And he swings on the back line, so I think Kaiser is going to be fine. You're right, like Milan.
33! Fly went for the full swoop in.
Yeah, he's got a south. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he was like fissure. But then
Wait,
kept on going.
They don't see Jerax in the trees.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
He's a sneaky little bugger, and this could really be the opening. He's gonna pop out in just a second. Sneaky Jerax. Although, if he waits too long now, the clock is going to be back in the lane, and it's right when they try to make the move. Oh, Jerax, he thinks twice about it. They're like, let's get the clockwork instead. This is the much easier kill, but got to be careful. Kaiser's not just doing whatever he wants with these raises. Even the courier arriving to make some item deliveries in the midst of it, and then Fly TP's in. That's the +1 advantage. Give them 2 kills, and the Shadow Fiend down. I think he did spend his gold at least, but still costly.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit sloppy here for HellRaisers. I think as soon as they realize that Jerax is behind them, they just have to give up the kill. It's too risky, and Kaiser could have Fairy Fire, I think, to survive. He definitely had way more regen, could have easily survived that engagement and just stay in the lane, but I guess a little bit too worried about spending his remainder gold. And as a result, I guess the lane did what it's supposed to do, right? Kill Shadow Fiend at least once. And
yeah, once is once enough. You know, I feel like Shadow Fiend he's already got 32 CS. You know, he's still farming very well. Obviously, stack Dota isn't quite what it used to be with the reduced bounty you get, but nonetheless, it's still pretty good. So.
I mean, more is always better, but the fact that Milan has been basically, it's basically a 2v1 lane for the most part, and you're still getting a kill on it. I guess 2v2 is more fair because Jerax also spent.
Hey, that was a 3v2, Lumi. They even had made the Phoenix TP in.
That is true. Although only momentarily. Jerax invis up, sitting right next to 33.
Doesn't have the damage to kill him on his own, I don't think, but with a +1 maybe. While Milan comes in, he's going to cage the bear with the cold feet coming through. Double raise, push back. Oh, it's going to proc, and that is the last hit for Kaiser. So topped out in the Souls department again. Looking good for HellRaisers there, though they're down 1-3. It's a very mild lead for OG, at least so far.
Yep. My big curiosity is what item Kaiser is going to end up getting. We do see Shadow Blade being a very popular choice, or we're going to see more traditional like Dragon Lance into Pike and right click away. I definitely see merits for both builds. It could come down to player preference. Bottom lane, Swift Ending has a lot of Eidolons on him, and S4 kind of traversing between lane and jungle. Pulls ahead.
Diving 33 up top. Does have the enchant totem, but that's about it. This is going to force a reaction from Milan as he TPs in, and that might open things up on the mid lane. See if they can find the opportunity there. Fly was sweeping in. Planted down an Observer Ward. It is still in range of a Sentry.
In fact, that Sentry de-warded another ward there.
In fact, I believe that... did they step all the way in the Roche pit? I didn't actually catch it. They might not have been scouted on this smoke, but now they're revealed. With the obs, I think Kaiser gets out of there. Whew. So HellRaisers winning this ward game. OG already missed the D-ward once. Then they plant their own obs right down, and that gets quickly dealt with.
Yeah, a little bit of, I guess, communication error there. Also, very unfortunate timing for OG for going for that gank, because Shadow Fiend was gonna just double raise that wave regardless. And
the Shadow Fiend is pretty out of control, man. He's 1,000 gold up despite.
Look at his CS differential on the mid lane. He's doubling on the CS. I mean, some of that is.
It's supposed to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, unless they kill him 2-3 times, or Ursa has a, like, say, a phase boots to boots advantage. Like, there's no way that Ursa's actually gonna win that lane. Not with the help the Shadow Fiend got.
I mean, they had the last pick on the Ursa, right? So Oh no, it was Shadow Fiend ultimately the last pick of the whole draft, right?
Yeah, I believe it was Shadow Fiend.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because they picked Ursa and then they went into the outside.
Right. Well, Ursa is going to have a different 1v1 matchup. Milan's going to take over lane now. Shadow Fiend is comfortably ahead in terms of experience. And we'll just jungle a little bit.
It's like a super stacked... You know, sometimes you look at a game with the Shadow Fiend, you're like, this is, you know, not the easiest Shadow Fiend game. Does this game feel like a game where Kaiser can just take over completely? Are there any matchups that you worry about?
I don't think so. 33, by the way, in a lot of trouble. Phoenix Dive comes in. I think he's going to just go down. No tails. Doing a little bit of circular dance for whatever reason. We'll pick up the kill. There are a lot of things that he has to worry about. For example, Requiem is going to get easily spiked to set up a stun on him. There isn't any solo kill opportunity. A lot of times you pick up a Shadow Blade and you can pick, like, let's say a Venge kill or a Witch Doctor kill for free. The Phoenix even you have to work for because he could dive away an egg, for example. So to answer your question, I don't think there is a lot of freebie for Kaiser, and he needs to itemize very hard. He definitely needs BKB. He definitely needs some sort of physical survivability as well. And also itemizing against PL is always a nightmare for a lot of these range cores. He's
really the only one who can kill the egg. Also, I mean, AA is not likely to be doing much auto-attacking, so I think he probably does need that Dragon Dance. And ideally, a decent amount of attack speed. So yeah, I guess he needs a lot of items in that sense.
Yep. He has a lot of roles and responsibility on him. So even though he's doing quite well right now, he needs to be doing really well.
Here comes Ana. There is an Infest available, but he's just going to try to hoof it out of there, and that is not happening. Swift ending quickly deleted. So now HR will group up mid. Milan continuing to bodyguard his buddy. Fly will tank up a rocket. Well on his way to level 6 here, so doing pretty good in that experience department. The egg is coming soon. Other than that, no major key levels is on it. I'll take that.
Yeah, sure.
Little honey cooked there.
SMY here coming out here from Kaiser. I don't think I remember the last time I've seen this. This is definitely like something out of a Dota 1 fairy book. Fairy tale. Who goes SMY first nowadays? Shadow.
Yeah, it's well, for now, I guess just the Sanj. You know, does he actually commit for the full SMY?
We'll see. Yasha first is always considered as like a good stat farming item. A little bit of everything.
Oh, it is. Okay, he already has the Yashas. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is looking like SMY. I guess Manta is okay this game. It's not amazing.
It's not an item that you want to rush for. That's for sure.
Well, can you Manta off like the Ursa clap, I guess.
Yeah, or
that's about it.
Malefice.
That's it.
Top as 33 gets jumped on. I actually don't think Shadow Fiend's going to be the X factor, despite how much he's getting and how well he's playing. So, to me, it's going to be the Shaker. Because Shaker is going to be the one that, let's say he gets an early blink that he's setting up gank across the map. Shadow Fiend on his own won't be able to get kills, but if Shaker comes in, they get a kill, and then Shadow Fiend just pushes. That's going to be the easy 1-2 punch to get some objectives.
So Newbee, with a bit of a lull here, score only 1-5, 10 minutes in. OG have a moderate advantage, about 2k gold. Overall thoughts on the two teams' lineups and what their strategies will be moving forward? How do you see them stacking up?
I think OG scales much better in the late game. You know, you're looking at Phoenix with amazing talent as he gets levels. Same thing with the Enigma. Man, once Enigma gets to 15 and he has Midas, he is going to go ham. So to me, it's going to be up to HellRaiser to kind of close out this game around 25 to 40 minute mark. I think OG is very comfortable going late, despite having a hero like Ursa, because all of their other heroes scale amazingly. And, you know, for the majority of the game, it's both teams kind of controlling the tempo. We're going to have OG starting right now.
S4 committing the black hole here bottom, but his team not cooperating. They wanted to smoke on mid, where Milan is there to meet them and try and shut things down. He's got the cogs. He will pull in two, potentially saving Kaiser in the process. So a black hole blown in a 1-for-2 exchange around the map. Not too shabby for OG, I guess, when you look at it that way, but could have gotten the 2 kills and not used the black hole. So do they take an objective now? That's the question. They'll work on this tower mid. DP comes in at the shrine. Milan looking to muster the defense. He is 1 creep away from level 6, so no hook shot available for this upcoming fight yet. The glyph gets deployed. Ice Blast online, so they can hook into an Ice Blast here, something OG have to respect. The egg is available to reset the fight, obviously. No Tail will prove elusive on the PL, and flanking around is Ana. Bear wants to wet his claws with some Shadow Fiend blood. Perhaps the oil will spill soon.
Kaiser needs to be very careful. It's very easy for Jirax to walk into the creep wave if you expect a Shadow Raise coming and then use the Spike Carapace to initiate the fight. And we do see the slight weakness of OG's draft. They're just not that good at pushing buildings. I mean, you got Eidolons, you got some PL illusions, but they just don't do enough damage. And it's very easy for Kaiser to reset it with one raise. And yeah, Kaiser gives up the SMY plan. He's going to go straight into a BKB. I like this plan much more because I don't think SMY provides you enough. And the BKB is very big necessity against the Nyx Assassin.
SNY done, and like you said, BKB on the way. HR going to make their first move with the Infest Bomb. Set a course top. Tail waiting there. Tail still doesn't have that first big item. He's pretty killable if this Fissure connects. Should be an opportunity. Echo coming through as well. Now the hook with the Infest. Perfectly chain stun. He still manages to get over the Fissure. One more auto attack, just barely able to kill him. That was closer than I would have expected, given the commitment.
Yep. Meanwhile, Kaiser, Spidey senses, just kind of walk around the map. He knows the ganks is going to be coming to him. A lot of heroes missing off the map, in particular Jirax. Already has the level 6 and hunting for the Shadow Fiend. How do you feel about Swift Ending's play so far? I mean, we already talked about Lifestealer. I don't think this is going to be the best ever Lifestealer game.
I think it's pretty terrible, actually. Ursa owns you 1v1. Lifestealer is not good against Illusion heroes unless he gets mega farmed with like a Mjolnir.
He's going back for a Midas.
So he's not that good against PL, I would say. And then Enigma obviously owns him with Black Hole. So I think his job is that space creator and frontline tank. He also doesn't have that many Infest vehicles, so...
He could rage and just kill the egg, I guess. That's something that he could look to do.
Yeah, that's true. If he doesn't have Black Hole.
Yeah.
So I think it is, like you said, a very tough Lifestealer game. And it is, to me, as far as the damage department goes, all the eggs in the Shadow Fiend basket, end of the day.
Yep.
But
he could technically go into the Shaker once the Shaker has Blink, and Shaker is 200 away.
Yeah, that's a once every couple minutes type of move, but yeah, that is that is one way to deliver it.
In between him and Clockwork, I think HellRaiser will have some options, but yeah, definitely a tough game. I just fear this team fight that comes, 20 minutes in the game, and there's so many things that they have to hit. The egg, the Black Hole, and then of course all the PL stuff, Nyx Assassin running in and out, Ursa. Any individual hero from OG isn't like very tanky that you can't kill, but combined together where you have to deal with everybody. I just don't think HellRaisers got that damage.
They are slowly losing the farm war here. OG now up to a 3,000 gold lead. So perhaps the Lifestealer Midas will help equalize things, but it's going to be a rather late Midas, all things considered. It's just kind of like the dream scenario for HellRaisers, right, is that the Lifestealer is going around and infest bombs, they're finding Ice Blast kills, hookshot openings, and then Shadow Fiend's just following that up with a lot of farm and pushing objectives. But we haven't really seen that first part come to fruition, so all of OG's outer towers stand. I think, like you were saying, they respect that OG team fight, but perhaps respecting it too much.
Yeah.
So then they're never actually forcing what really matters, which is these towers surrounding the Roshan pit. Meanwhile, OG has made multiple forays onto the HR side of the base, many of them netting kills, taking down towers, getting deep wards that we see now, and that sets up the next round of offense.
HR makes a smoke gank into the enemy jungle and not carrying enough detection. J4 had a pair of sentries, but he was lagging a little bit behind. Nyx Assassin breaks the smoke, they get nothing out of it. And in fact, it's going to be OG, again on an inferior pushing lineup, actually getting to the buildings. Just hitting buildings. They're not going to get it, but good damage by the siege unit. And back off they go.
MVP right here. Little old Cardi.
I mean, if you're an OG fan, you just got to be ecstatic with the pacing of the game. Again, you got Phoenix, who is about to pick up his level 10 talent. Sweet plus 20 experience gain for a 5-position support. Amazing. S4 is rushing towards that level 15, where the 15% CDR is going to be amazing for Midas. And now, Ana Goes right into the Roshan pit. He is going to be detected, but let's see if the Radiant can fight into it.
Ice Blast coming in. This is an opening here. Going to connect on Ana. Now the hook through. Milan immediately jumps out. I don't think he realized the Ursa was so low. He could have stuck around and secured the kill. A bit unfortunate.
Roshan is not low enough, I don't think, where they could just come in and claim it. Wait.
Meanwhile, Kaiser getting
How did that happen?
Bottom by No-Tail.
Oh, he had Diffusal Blade. In fact, 4 charges of Diffusal Blade have been used, so must have been a pretty long chase.
And HR, did nobody have a TP there, or just got...
Well, they all walked down there
Yeah.
to support the Roshan fight, right? I'm sure a couple people even ported to the Shrine. And now we got 33 carrying the package, but do they have detection? That's the question. Jirax scouts people out, and now he's going to hit them as Roshan drops low to prevent it. In fact, he's going to chase them all around. They're going to get Aegis.
Still sticking around. Oh, they want to go in, but they are not going to be able to in the end, so... Ouch, they lose their prize Shadow Fiend bottom. No-Tail likely going to take this tower too, unless there's an immediate response. And they lose the Roche fight, and the Aegis now claimed by Ana. So you really could not have written a worse script for HellRaisers over that last 2 minutes.
Yeah, you really can.
They could have like either saved the Shadow Fiend, maybe had him there and tried to take the Roche fight, at least killed the Ursa. Literally nothing went right for them. And they wasted a bunch of time standing around the pit to no real great effect. 33 wanted to go for the solo kill set up here on Jerax. Swift Ending had disengaged already. And now Ursa comes in, head full of steam with the DD rune. Heading straight onto that Lifestealer. Going to TP out. The hole is available, not even required. The claws are fresh with blood, and OG score another kill on a core. This is essentially the opposite of what you want out of this Lifestealer pick. He should be going around with the Clockwork, finding kills. The Shadow Fiend should be with the team, ideally not getting solo killed by the PL, and none of these things are happening.
Yeah, what you're saying right now just is how the game is going, as we have J4 escapes the gank. They have a lineup that thrives on going on the offensive, right? Ancient Apparition is not a support you want, just sitting there like pulling creeps. He wants to be having his allies going in and then ice blasting. You paint the scenario with the Lifestealer and the Shaker and the Clockwork. They want to be fighting non-stop. But with the great rotations of OG, Jerax in particular has broken 2 smoke ganks so far, has just given his team so much intel of what fights they want to take and not take.
Yeah, he also set up that 3v2 where they got the double kill early.
Right.
He managed to find his way past a ward that was in a really good position, hid in the trees, dodged the Clockwork scouting for literally that exact movement, still somehow comes out and makes the play that opens up the laning stage and, you know, prevents the Shadow Fiend from getting too out of control. So for me, Jerax definitely the big playmaker thus far. As seems to often be the case in this patch. Like, the 4-position players normally are really the stars of most of these teams, I would say.
Sure. What ends up happening now is that OG has cores that could just solo kill on their own. You know, we saw PL killing the Shadow Fiend earlier. We know Ursa could definitely solo kill. Whereas HR, they kind of have to move in a predictable pattern of groups of 3 and 4. And as a result, I just don't think they will be able to fight into OG in the coming days.
They're going to find No-Tail bottom lane. Can they focus him down? No Echo. Swift Ending going
nice
in, but baited by the illusion.
Yep.
No-Tail with the micro skills. On the top lane, action also breaking out. Milan taking the Sunray and not liking it so much. The Battery Assault doing okay damage on Fly is going to usher him away, but he swoops in again. Keeps on engaging now, tries for the TP out, and Jerax and S4 got baited away by J4, so he will make it back to safety. J4 unlikely to, though. He will be the sacrifice. This is a very poor Ancient Apparition. Ice cream once again served up for a little dessert.
I don't see a way where HellRaiser could actually come back unless OG starts to make some big mistake.
It's like all about the Shaker, right? You have to have a crazy Echo.
Yep. Has he been even able to use an Echo yet? There was the one on top lane where he got off the great chain stun gank. But apart
he's
from
used
that,
it, but we haven't had a big like team fight changing Echo.
Right.
And I don't know that you will. Like, looking at how OG's going to look to siege, they can put the Ursa with Aegis in front, hitting buildings, the PL Illusion, maybe the Eidolons, but like, are the heroes actually going to be committing too much? I don't think so.
10-second BKB used to dodge away from OG's Impale. And OG's fine with that. They lost nothing.
Well, they're committed to taking this one longer. They are not going to be forcing fights when their Lifestealer just picked up a Midas at 22 minutes.
I don't think that Midas is going to pay for itself. To be honest here, I think they're going to start losing the building right now.
You think you see that Midas your OG, you're like, yeah, let's go fight. This is perfect. got 2,000 gold invested in something that does not help him take fights. Meanwhile, RPL has the Fusel Blade as well on his way to a Yasha as well, as it looks like top lane. J4, he's been found out here by Ana. Fisher comes through, Ice Blast connecting. Remember, he's still got Aegis. Can they even finish him off? They got to hit this Raze. Kaiser, he misses. Opportunity
He can
blown
blink out
there.
now.
Ana trying to blink out and will ultimately crack the Aegis. Now round 2, revving up the Requiem. He gets pushed away.
Wow. Whose first half was that?
Jarex.
Yeah, okay.
To the rescue. J-God.
J-God indeed.
Don't know that they wanted to go on the Ursa there anyway. Like, if they do hit that Requiem and then, say, Shaker blinks into Echo, all of a sudden, like, the Enigma comes in with the Black Hole, and he's got BKB now, so there's nothing to stop that. Maybe a hook shot. Potentially, you just give them 2 or 3 kills instead of just letting the Ursa walk away. But nonetheless, sick play by Jarex.
I don't know if his allies would have wanted to stay and take that fight there. There's this tower there. The trees are going to make things annoying. And also Requiem dealing that much AoE damage would be annoying. So I still think it was a good play for Jarex to disengage.
It was definitely a good play.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Still no tier 1 down mid, huh? HR, we're not able to achieve their goals this game.
Yep. The goal is to kind of be annoying with Clockwork and AA. In fact, it doesn't even feel like there's a
tower
clock.
denied mid, so like just nothing coming easy for HellRaisers.
Yeah, I think PL is currently a problem that cannot be dealt with, and I just don't know whether that changes moving forward. There's not enough AoE on the side of HellRaiser. I mean, apart from that one magical Echo Slam that we keep dreaming about.
That Echo Slam will come mid. Hookshot follows it up. Jarex is going to tank that Fisher. He did get off the Carapace.
Okay.
The Ravage coming through. 3-hero Impale. See ya, HellRaisers. Now on the run for more. J4 trying to juke. He heads north, but Jarex has the scent. Oh, no, not quite. No teleport scroll. It's almost better for them if he's just forced to take the long road home, because OG, they're taking the short, direct path straight down the middle lane.
Is Ana really searching for that AA kill? Does he actually care? Oh no, he's actually just going top for the quick
I think
wave.
you let him just run all the way top.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he Ice Blasts from there, but yeah, the base is under siege.
Again, not exactly the quickest push, but when there's nobody defending. Nice force that forward here, and now Kaiser in a lot of trouble. He could have activated his BKB, he doesn't, and now he finally does.
That is the 9-second charge down. The 2 best charges have already been blown on purely defensive maneuvers. Honestly, I just hope Jarex saves something for the main stage at this rate. He's pulling out all his tricks here in the groups.
I wouldn't say he's pulling out his tricks. I think this is actually his standard game. Let's not forget how good J-God is. He's a magician, the finest.
I think Houdini might like to have a word.
He's dead, right?
If he could, he would like to.
So, no words shall be had with Houdini.
Well, if words were to be had with him, then that would probably mean that you have some really messed up powers.
Alright, S4. Gonna find a kill.
Another one bites the dust, quickly jumping onto the Shaker, taking him out. That is their comeback. Like, Shaker is the only way they get back in this game, with a big blink echoes. Jarex is there, Impale comes through, but Swift ending, dodging it with the Rage. Now the hook onto No Tail, but he's just gonna simply doppelganger back to safety. Now the hole committed does reel in. Kaiser somehow it even got J4. Didn't look like he was in the AoE. So that's 3 down. Lifestealer next on the list. The claws are gonna get to work on him, shredding him bit by bit, limb from limb. 4 fall and OG continue to steamroll.
I mean, we always knew that this lineup had the potential to go for a big wombo combo play. 25 minutes in, we first saw it. I don't think you could even say that, hey, this is a drafting advantage or a drafting win for OG. I think they just played better.
I would agree.
Yeah,
we had some games yesterday where it's like LFY just outdrafted Execration, and there's just no way they can win this game. I think that was in game 2.
Yeah.
Maybe it was game 1. I can't remember. But yeah, this is much more of an execution game.
No Tail bounced around, looks like he's stunned up. Echo Slam, okay. 33 making a play on his base, kills the Ursa.
OG getting a little cocky here, diving for kills when they could just be hitting buildings. But I think they've got a few more of those to give.
A lot more of those to give. Tier 2 is going to go down to S4 on top. So he is accelerating towards level 18. You were mentioning that, you know, BKB is going to be an issue. Oh, it's online. He's actually going to have Octarine soon after. It's
crazy how fast Enigma farms with this new build.
Yep.
With the Midas and the Talon. These guys are just brought down here in the bottom lane. Again has the BKB defensively. Rex keeps on forcing those out. 33 wants to chase, maybe punish a little bit. The rocket comes in, but OG already on the retreat. All kinds of time being bought here while they wait for Ana's respawn, so absolutely no need to buy back. Still all tier 2 standing for OG. Probably at least, I would say 2 or 3 team fights would have to be thrown quite badly to get HR back in this game.
Yep.
What's your throw counter at? Do you think that's an accurate number?
I would say so. Because one of the things that HR will also struggle with is that most of these team fights are going to be on, probably in front of HR's base, right? And, you know, you kill OG ones, what are you going to get, a tier 1? That's pretty much all you can get, really. So it's going to be hard for HR to now convert these throne fights, if you will, to actually any objective. That's if OG even throws at all. I don't think they will. I think their lineup's actually a relatively safe one. Ana is really the only one that could Rambo, and he did just now, but it's just the 1 kill, so.
33 getting peppered here by No-Tail, coming in again with the illusions getting work. Throws up the Diffusal Blade charge. 33 almost dead now. A follow-up volley of illusions. Will he fall just to those? Barely survives. He's out, but that opens the way for Roshan with no shaker. There is no chance of a contest, and by the time they could even get here, Rock is dead.
Yep, Aegis and Cheese gets picked up. Looks like Ursa might just hold the Cheese. Are we gonna see a high ground siege? I think they could just, like, you know, go mid now. That tower is very low already.
I definitely think you do. Maybe they split up the PL and the Ursa here, so PL can be kind of ratting away on the top side of the map. You send the main host towards mid. You could do the same thing with the Eidolons, but I definitely think we're at the point where OG is going to be chipping, looking for a tier 3, looking for a lane of racks. At a bare minimum, you want to get a tier 3 and take the shrines down. Ideally, I think 1 lane of racks is a realistic goal at this point in the game.
Yeah, and for HellRaiser, they need to take the team fight not in their base. I think they need to smoke and wrap around from behind. Get Enigma first, get the Phoenix, because I don't think they could actually even have hope of winning a team fight if either of those ults go off successfully. And then just use the power of the Shaker, the burst of the Shadow Fiend Requiem, and just hope for the best.
Drax on the prowl again. A little surprise might be awaiting him, though. He's going to work through the trees, but 33 with the casual enchant totem. Drax is like, hey, something over here, man. Maleficent comes through. Lifestealer's packed inside as well. The hole is wound up. See ya, boys. Maybe not. Hookshot coming in. Milan looking for the turnaround, but the Conks keep him away from that Enigma. And now he gets bashed by Ana. He's brought down as well. Oh, even Milan is finished off. 3 collapses. OG spring the trap. It couldn't have been more unfortunate. He just wanted the enchant totem damage in preparation for a fight. I don't even know that Jarx was going to check that next corner, but certainly after that totem he was.
The funny thing is that the Spike Carapace stunned the Lifestealer as he popped out. I don't think I've ever seen that, but as a result, set up for the beautiful 2-man black hole. And sure, the Clockwork canceled it, but I think the 1.5 second was more than enough. And they just walk over the base.
They're also standing in the Midnight Pulse there as well, so it's a lot of extra damage. Aghanim's now complete on Ana. Not that I think he needs it, but finally OG, they'll take that first lane. Almost Fissure blocking Ana inside the base, but not quite able to do so.
Jirax is still in the base as well. He's looking for his Ravage again.
Definitely an opportunity here if they get too far away. Maybe you don't get the whole team, but picking off 1 or 2 could be sweet. Mid lane also being pressured. OG, a full court press now as they close in on a Game 1 victory. This would put them at 5-2. Certainly en route to a top 4 finish in the group. It is the goal. Anything else is just icing on the cake, really. As far as the TI format goes, is on to find his opening. Jumps in, kills off Milan. Simultaneously, though, the real damage, this tier 3 being pressured. Illusion's constantly picking away at it. And HR are scrambling to defend. 33 looking for that miracle echo. Ana might come in again. He blinks forward, he leaps in, finds Swift Ending. Does get controlled for the moment. Can they finish him off? He still has Aegis. He still has Cheese. It's got to be 2-3 kills to actually bring him down realistically. And Kaiser almost out of mana. Space created as now the melee racks opened up. Ana backs off, focusing on the real prize. 33 does have that Echo ready, but OG are just positioning well. Sitting back with the supports. They still have the Phoenix Egg. If duty calls, Jerax is also there to interrupt the combo. The Echo comes in. He really only hits the creeps. No Tail just walks away casually, juking out of it. G, Egg, combined with the whole OG, just on another level from HellRaisers in this game one.
Yep, look at how safe that last game-ending push was. You know, it was just like the PL darting in and out with Illusions, Ursa hitting, we got Eidolons hitting. Ultimate safety push. And HellRaiser forced to act. They couldn't get a good Echo, and that's all she wrote. But like we said earlier, this is pretty much a